It's hard to explain really, but if I had to summarise it in one word, it would be nothing. In January 2015, I was diagnosed with a mental illness, more commonly known as depression. I'd known for a long time that I suffered from depression, but I'd never done anything about it because I feared that putting a label on it would just make things worse. There were days, and still are days, where I don't eat. I eat too much. I don't sleep. I sleep too long. I cut myself off from the rest of the world, convincing myself that it's for my own good. I've known for a long time what my depression is, but it never had a name. It was just a constant aura of darkness that I carried with me and hid from my family and friends. But that's where my understanding ends. I know what it does to me and how it affects me, how it affects my life, and how to deal with it personally, but I don't understand what it means for anyone else. What is depression?
Depression is a form of mental illness, one which I don't really understand a lot about. I think a lot of people probably don't understand a lot about depression. I think a lot of people just assume it's feelings of upsetness and uncontrollable.
Depression is a mental illness. I was going to say which affects your mind, but I think it affects every aspect of your life, to be honest.
Personally, depression to me is like a wall or a weight, and the wall is something that you have to learn to break through, and it's a weight that sort of keeps you down. That's what depression is to me. It's something that makes you feel sad.
Depression is a mental illness, a fairly broad one, that can affect your ability to get about in life, and it's generally sort of inescapable. Like, when it affects people, they haven't got a lot of control over it. It's fairly misunderstood, and law around it's pretty weak, and there's a lot that can be done to help it.
Good question, actually. I guess it's a mental state where you're not quite happy, you don't really know what's going on. Don't know really. Haven't really thought about it too much, but yeah, that's it really.
I think for me, I'd kind of tend to think of it as a big black dog or a big black cloud hanging over your head, and it's a bit inescapable sometimes, but there's help out there.
Maybe lonely sometimes. Just I don't know, you have to break through it, and it's a lesson you have to learn to get through things when things get hard.
It's debilitating, and people need a lot of help to get through it, and they don't often receive it. Depression's pretty grim.
Depression, it's helplessness really, isn't it? Just feeling lost, not really having the motivation to do anything. Don't really know how else to describe it. Yeah, it's something that's not easy to live with.
It can change you a lot, and it can really ruin, I suppose, a lot of things, but I don't know in medical terms what it would be.
I think people assume it's an emotion and not a mental illness. I think that's one of the things, is we use it as an emotion, not an illness. And it is an illness. Because people use the term depressed quite casually, when I think it's quite a serious matter. I wouldn't say I have a full concept of what depression as an illness actually is, because I'm not a trained psychologist, so yeah.
I'm not sure if depression will ever truly be understood, nor any mental illness really, but lately there has been improvement. People have started talking more and more about the problems that affect them, and that's the best thing. I found that since I've started talking to my friends and family that I've been feeling better in myself, But I've still got a long ways to go, and it's hard, but I keep trying every day to make myself better. And maybe one day I will be, but for now, I'll just keep on working, and maybe one day I'll answer the question, what is depression?